Okay, so this is an example again from the homework. It says a basketball player's hang time is the time spent in the air when shooting a basket. And there's a formula right here. So there's the formula. That formula models hang time t. So t is the hang time. So whenever we're using a formula, we have to know what the variables represent. Okay, so that's time in seconds, and it's in terms of vertical distance that a player's jump. So, the player jumps up so high, and that's the d. So d is the vertical jump. I'm going to rewrite the formula anyway, and that's in feet. Okay, it says if the hang time for a shot by a professional basketball player is 0.85 seconds. Okay, that's the time then. What is the vertical distance of the jump? So that's the d. We're trying to figure that out, and we're going to round our answer to the nearest tenth of a foot. Okay, so let me get the formula. T equals the square root of d over 2. But we know t, so we're going to say 0.85 equals the square root of d over 2. This is an equation, and we can solve it. It's a radical equation, but that's okay. So we're going to multiply both sides by 2. And then, I don't know, what's 2 times 0.85? Well, that's why I have a calculator. I should be able just to do it in my head, but... Okay, 1.7. Okay, now how do I solve that? Well, I have to square both sides, right? Get rid of the radical. And it was a square root. So what's 1.7 squared? 2.89 is what I get for d. Okay, so let's see if we can figure out what all this means. So the player is in the air less than a second, so 0.85 seconds, and we want to know how far his vertical distance is. So did he jump? It looks like he jumped almost 3 feet, but they want this rounded to the nearest tenth of a foot, so that's going to go up to 2.9. So about 2.9 feet. So that sounds like a pretty big jump to me. But he's a professional basketball player, so I like to watch basketball. But anyway, so that's an example of, how you could use a formula and solve, and then you could figure out, the vertical jump of the basketball player.